Morning, folks. How are you? It is 5 to 7 here in Ireland, which is late for me. Um, I just want to talk a bit about fishing this year. I mean, it's been so poor that you could think, oh, the fish are gone, or it's going to stay like this, or whatever. I'm absolutely certain that that isn't the case. It is literally down to the weather. The weather has just been atrocious. I mean, we basically have had no summer. Any day that it's been settled and you got out there and you fished, I hammered fish. And I've marked so many fish on the sounder in the boat that I just know that there's nothing happened to the stock. It's not like they've been gill netted or, whatever. For example, a good friend uh, got on to me to say I was on a certain spot and I got some lovely fish, and I was like, oh, well done, great. And I went to that spot then the following night to have a look, and it was totally blown out, you know what I mean? It was just like impossible to fish. You were into 30-kilometer headwinds, huge waves. Where I think the fish were was just literally full of cabbage weed. There was no way to fish through it. It was like, okay, so there are fish here, but they're just not actually catchable. And I always pay attention to the bait guys, right? Because if the bait guys are further up the beach from me, usually I'll talk to them on my way down the beach. Just how's it going? How you doing? How you getting on? You getting any fish? And if they're not getting any fish, then I know probably not going to go great down here, right? That you know, there's not many fish around on the beach because the fish just can't say no to a big lump of crab, right? You can just nail them. I mean, you could nail them all day with crab. There's no skill in it, right? Really. Well, that's not true. I don't mean to be disingenuous to bait fishermen. Some fellas love it. I used to love it. I used to do it all the time. It's how I started fishing. So I just want to reassure people, like I've seen loads of really, really quality fish and marked lots of quality fish and had some really good fishing, but mostly it's been the weather we've been struggling with, and I really hope that that's going to settle. It's certainly not today. I mean, I'm looking out the window there and I'm thinking, that's meant to be August. Jesus Christ, what have we done to the planet? Like, I mean, don't kid yourself. There's no doubt that what's happening is to do with climate change, is to do with global warming, is to do with shift in the meridian currents. There's a girl in Maynooth University where I used to work in the geography department who maps the mid-Atlantic oceanic currents, right? What they call the AMOC, right? Which is the whole. So the Gulf Stream is a part of that. And there's a couple of other currents, and they all push the salt and that around the Atlantic, right? And they essentially create what are our current weather patterns. Now, with the melting of the polar ice caps, what's happening is the salinity of the water, the seawater, is changing so rapidly that those currents are shifting. And with the shift in the currents, you get a change in the weather patterns. That's why we're seeing these kind of really severe weather events in America, with huge hurricanes rolling up and stuff. There have always been hurricanes, there have always been tornadoes, there have always been thunderstorms and all those things. But it's that they're more frequent, um, and the temperatures in mainland Europe, at its height this year, just insane. Like, so, it sounds quite a selfish thing to say, but I'm kind of glad I don't have kids because I wouldn't like to be leaving them this planet, right? So, yeah. So sorry, don't mean to be so bleak early in the morning, but climate change is real. Wake up. It's true. And I think that really is what's really been affecting our fishing, is the fact we're just not getting enough settled weather. If we get any settled weather at all, and we get the chance to get at them, I'm getting fish after fish after fish. So there's plenty of fish there, so there's nothing to worry about. The stock's in good shape, and I'm hoping, but it's fishing, so all you can do is hope, right? No guarantees in fishing. That's what it's called, fishing, not catching. That September and October we get like some settled weather, and I get a haircut. But we get some settled weather, and particularly in October, what happens here in the southeast of Ireland is when we get that first frost, these really big bass show up, and I do not know where they come from because they're not there during the summer, so they must be on outer reefs or something. But they are monsters. Jesus, they're like, this thick, and they're big, black, full body, dark. Sorry, I'm gonna dark fish. Interestingly, right on that, the light colored fish and the dark colored fish, that's not habitat that makes them do that. They are actually two distinct genetic types of bass. I didn't realize that. I only found that out recently. I was fascinated by it. I was like, okay. So the blackback ones and the really light colored ones are just genetically different. Same fish, but genetically different. A bit like sea trout. Like, so we have, I'm sure how many, I don't want to say something incorrect. I'm not sure how many strains of sea trout we have, but we have several. And there are two that grow really big. One is in Waterville in County Kerry, that area, and the other is up in Dublin on the East Coast. I mean, I've seen some big sea trout up on the East Coast. Now I have another alarm going off. Hang on, let me pause that. So look, anyway, not to finish. Let's try and finish on a high note. So what are we going to do? Well, today we're going to the river. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go up and look for them in the brackish water. I want to see just how high up they will go. I think they'll go up almost to the fresh. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that actually that the salmon and the bass are in similar spots in certain parts of the river, and I'm going to go up today and try and catch them. So I'm not doing anything else today. I'm not working. I'm day off, so I'm done with computers, and I've built a website, and blah 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 blah. So it's just it's all go with stuff. So it's like, okay, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going fishing. So that's the plan today. So I'll let you know. I want to show you something that I'm bringing with me. I'm back. So most of you will probably think I am nuts, but jointed claw from Gangcraft. Now this thing nearly cost me a week's wages, but it's lethal, and it's particularly lethal for big bass. It just has a phenomenal action. Now Gangcraft charge what they charge, right, and they get away with it. I don't know, but they get away with it. So you've got two choices. You either don't buy it or you buy it, and you suck it up. So I decided to suck it up because I've always wanted one. I see French guys like just smashing enormous bass. Whatever it is about this lure, big bass just don't seem to be able to resist it. So that's going with me. I'm bringing the heavier rod, obviously, to throw that lure and some other big lures, and we'll see how we get on. We'll let you know later. Other than that, have a great day. Tight lines. I have loads of lures rods, all sorts of stuff on the way. So keep an eye on the channel, and I'm busy building the e-commerce part of my site. So soon enough, all that stuff will be available to buy as part of the website. But before that happens, if you want anything you need to tackle, like you need fluoro, you need braid, you need lures, you need anything, just give me a ring and I'll sort you out. We'll do it by whatever, PayPal, Revolut, Post, all of that. Okay, so have a great day, everybody. Tight lines.